New year, new administration, and new laws pertaining to divorce. Let's get into it. Let me set the picture for you. Imagine you're going through divorce, and during the discovery process, you get a credit report for yourself, and lo and behold, there is a substantial amount of debt or credit cards that are taken out in your name that you had no idea about. So even though in the state of Connecticut, the court is going to look at this type of debt likely as joint debt that can be dissolved of through your divorce. However, the ultimate responsibility falls on you to make sure that that debt is either paid or paid on time so that it doesn't impact your credit. And that is exactly what this law is going to address. So when we think of domestic violence, we often think of physical or emotional abuse, but there's also financial abuse. And as of January 1st, the state of Connecticut has passed a new law to address just that, financial abuse. So the state of Connecticut has referred to this type of financial abuse as coerced debt. So what is this coerced debt litigation going to do for you? Coerced debt occurs when one party in a relationship forces, manipulates, or fraudulently compels the other party to incur debt. This can include taking out loans, credit cards, or other financial obligations without the victim's consent or through other deceptive means. So in other words, coerced debt is now considered another form of financial abuse, often used by someone trying to exert control over their victim. So here are the key provisions to this legislation and what it means to anyone that might be in this situation. Number one, recognition of coerced debt. As I said before, this is just that the courts are now going to recognize coerced debt as a form of abuse. Number two, burden of proof adjustments. Victims may provide documentation, testimony, or other evidence to demonstrate that certain debts were incurred under coercion. So the burden of proving that there was coercive debt is going to be on the victim. But if you are the victim in that case, you will be able to prove it through financial statements and witnesses and so on and so forth. Number three, relief from liability. So, as I said earlier, under normal circumstances, the court looks at all marital debt and divides it accordingly. Under this legislation, the court can assign the coerced debt entirely to the person who incurred it, i.e. the perpetrator. And that would then relieve the victim of any financial obligation for repayment. Number four, protection of credit. This legislation is geared at helping victims to repair their credit history to ensure that post-dissolution, if you were the victim of coercive debt, your credit is not going to be in the gutter just because of somebody else taking out all of this debt in your name. The best way to attack something like this is to hire an experienced attorney who knows exactly what type of evidence is going to sway the court and is going to be impactful in making the court's decision in your favor. If you or someone you know is going through a situation like this, reach out to us. Have your friends reach out to us. We know the ins and outs of the family court system here in Connecticut, and we're here to help you make it as seamlessly through your divorce as we can.